What up, people? It's the start of a new month, which means there's a bunch of new games coming out that you should be on the lookout for. My goal for these monthly videos is to give you information on the games you're already looking forward to, while also hopefully introduce you to some new interesting games that may not be on your radar. There's going to be a mixture of AAA and indie games because I always want to make sure I provide variety in the games I'm showcasing to give the most people some new games to play. Also, if you're new to the channel, I make videos on single player games with usually a heavy focus on RPGs. If that's something that interests you and you end up enjoying the video, consider subscribing and liking the video to help with the algorithm. So, with all that said, here are the top games that you should be on the lookout for in the month of August. Armored Core 6 is the upcoming 16th installment of From Software's Armored Core series and is the first entry since Armored Core Verdict Day, which was released 10 years ago. Armored Core 6 is a mech-based combat game in which players pilot mechs called Armor Cores, which can be customized using parts to upgrade and fine-tune their power. Players have 4 weapon slots, 1 in each arm and 2 equipped on the mech's back. The arena, a feature from the previous games, returns in the form of a combat aptitude evaluation program. Players are rewarded with credits upon completing missions with subtractions and detriments to the compensation that they receive and to their reward depending on completed objectives. While I'm personally not into this genre by any means, I'm actually really happy for fans of the franchise. Like, I was watching reaction videos for this game and people are really excited, which is awesome. But anyway, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is releasing on August 25th, so if you've never played a game involving mech battles, watch some gameplay and you may become as excited as so many others already are. If giant robots aren't your thing, maybe some good old wrestling could do the trick, which brings us to the next game, WrestleQuest. While most wrestling games go for hyper-realism, WrestleQuest takes a different approach. Powerbomb and pile drive your way through a massive pixel art universe where professional wrestling and RPG fantasies collide. The game follows rookie wrestler Randy Machacho Man Santos as he dungeon crawls his way through seedy underground wrestling federations to become a great world champion like his idol and WWE Hall of Famer, Macho Man Randy Savage. To get there, Machacho Man must make a name for himself in the local wrestling scene by defeating champions in the hopes of being called up to the big leagues, where he can take on even tougher and more famous wrestlers. If you're interested in trying out the game before the August 8 release, there's a demo available on Steam and Xbox. While my knowledge and interest of wrestling starts and stops with the New Day,
what's amazing is the fact that you are that entertaining when you still wear llama penises strapped to your head.
I do love a good pixel graphic RPG, so I might check this out. From wrestling to rollerblading, next on the list we have Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. This action-adventure game is developed and published by Team Reptile, and if you could not already tell, is meant to be a spiritual successor to the cult classic Jet Set Radio. Start your own cipher and dance, paint graffiti, collect beats, combo your tricks, and face off with the cops to stake your claim to the sprawling metropolis of New Amsterdam. Explore the 5 main boroughs of the city to hit graffiti spots and get rep, as you'll need it to challenge the rival crews to a crew battle. Find new members to join your crew around the city and use skateboarding, inline skating, or BMX style tricks in the game's unique environment-based trick system. Extend your combos with manuals and get even higher scores by incorporating special boost tricks. Also, you can get boost power for doing long combos, so the fastest way to move is also the most stylish. While I never owned it, I remember playing Jet Set Radio on someone's Dreamcast and it was really fun. It was like a cartoon version of the Tony Hawk games, which resonated with me. I'll probably wait to hear some reviews, but I'm sure for hardcore Jet Set Radio fans, August 18th can't come soon enough. Next on the list we have Atlas Fallen. The game is an action RPG developed by Deck 13 Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. After creating and customizing your character, you're equipped with an ancient gauntlet that allows you to manipulate sand. With the gauntlet, players can shape the sand around them into weapons. Players can use 3 different weapons, though they can only carry 2 at any given time. Players are required to dodge, counter, and block incoming attacks, as well as quickly switch between land and air combat. As players attack enemies, they will gain momentum. At a certain momentum threshold, the weapon the player is currently wielding will transform, and they can unleash a special skill or ability that will deal devastating damage to their opponents. Unlike other games on this list, Atlas Fallen will be a next-gen exclusive, meaning it will only be available for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X, and maybe S, I'm not sure. I know for last-gen console owners that kinda sucks, but I personally don't mind if it will make the game run better and also come out sooner. From what I've seen of gameplay videos and trailers, the game looks really fun to play and is also just pretty to look at. Since there are so many games coming out this year, I'll probably wait for a sale much later, but this is definitely a game I'll be keeping an eye on. The next game I want to talk about is Immortals of Aveum. The game is a first-person shooter that focuses exclusively on magic. Experience fast, fluid, first-person, spell-based combat that's easy to learn and satisfying to master. In Immortals of Aveum, magic is at the core of both offense and defense. Creatively leverage all three forces of magic and be rewarded for chained attacks and well-timed counters. Unlock and upgrade more than 25 spells and 80 talents, discover, upgrade, and craft hundreds of pieces of magical gear. Then, synergize your playstyle across all three forces of magic and become Avium's most powerful Triarch Magnus. Similar to Atlas Fallen, I believe Immortals of Aveum is also next gen, which, as I said before, I'm not that mad about. The idea of a magic-based first-person shooter is what made me interested in the game, because I don't know if that's ever been a thing. Like other games on this list, I'll definitely have to wait for reviews, but I think this game has the potential to be very special. At number 6, we have Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew. This real-time tactics game is developed and published by Mimimi Games, who are also the makers of Shadow Tactics and Desperados 3. Gameplay consists of real-time tactics, but from an isometric perspective. The game will feature 8 characters at launch. Each character in the game has their own unique abilities. For example, one character can briefly possess enemies and enter restricted areas, while another can distract enemies with plant spores and spawn a bush anywhere in the game as a hiding spot for other players. Their magical abilities can also be further upgraded by collecting a resource named Vigor. Players will visit the game's various islands multiple times in order to collect black pearls, which can be used to resurrect other characters in the game. Characters, once resurrected, will join the player's crew. One of the funniest things about this game is that I didn't know it existed until about 2 weeks ago. It wasn't until I saw gameplay that I realized that it was made by the developers of Shadow Tactics, and that really piqued my interest. And while I'm not huge into pirates, I think it fits this type of combat. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun, and this game seems like a sillier version of that with a bigger budget, which has this high on my list of games to check out. At number 7, we have Sea of Stars. After releasing the popular action platform The Messenger back in 2018, Sabotage Studio decided to move over to RPGs. Set in the same universe as The Messenger, Sea of Stars is meant to be a prequel story to what happened in that game. I backed this Kickstarter because of how much I enjoyed turn-based RPGs, as well as the beautiful pixelated visual art style. The game claims to not have any random encounters, and instead battles will take place in the same field that you're exploring, which will help with the immersion while playing. Pressing the action button in sync with the animation increases damage output while also reducing incoming damage. Along with time hits, combat features multi-character combo attacks, boosting, and a strategic lock system that offers options to play with different damage types in order to hinder enemies while they are channeling powerful attacks or spells. The Sea of Stars Kickstarter blew past all of its goals, and it'll be released on all platforms. So, if you're looking for another turn-based RPG with amazing pixel art, I think you should check this game out when it releases on the 29th. And last on the list, we have Baldur's Gate 3. Seeing as how Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of my favorite RPGs of all time, I couldn't wait to see what Larian Studios was going to make next. Based on the D&D 5e rule set, team-based initiative, advantage and disadvantage, and role modifiers join an advanced AI, expanded environmental interactions, and a new fluidity in combat that rewards strategy and foresight. 3 difficulty settings allow you to customize the challenge of combat, enable weighted dice to help sway the battle, or play on tactician mode for a hardcore experience. Because the early access was so long ago, I had kind of put this game out of my mind. But now that the game is so close, I'm really excited to play it. I even bought a Steam Deck just to be able to play it handheld, so you can tell I'm committed. Also, I just recently made a video showcasing the top 10 reasons you should be excited for Baldur's Gate 3, so if you want more detailed info about this game, go check that out. Between the class options available, the sizable dialogue, the cutscenes, the 100+ hour playtime, and the vast amount of endings promised, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to demand your time in the best and most fun way possible when it releases on August 3rd. Alright guys, that's all the games I personally want to talk to you about for August. What games are you looking forward to this month? Let me know in the comments. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want some more game recommendations, click one of the links on the screen. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with the channel. Later.